What's up, everybody? I'm Don Della Snooch, and this is Kelly Lunar Girl. How you doing?
Thanks. I'm doing well. How are you doing?
Welcome to Stranger Things Has Happened, Season 4, Chapter 3, The Monster and the Superhero.
A monster and the superhero. First impressions, did you like it?
Yeah. Ankle crushing aside, I had a good time.
Hey, there were no spiders in it, and that's okay with me.
I don't know. The fucking bad guy's kind of a spider.
I didn't think he's like spidery, but I thought it was more cords of decaying flesh.
He's got giant claw arms that come out of his back. He's a spider.
I didn't see claw arms.
They
I
literally
saw like him being
come out and
they
got points on the fucking end of him, and he's like poking people in the face with them. He's a spider.
Oh, dude, if that's true, then I'm gonna have a major freak out at the end of the season, I think.
Somebody's gonna make pants pudding.
I did not pick up on that yet. So, oh my gosh, if that is true, I'm so gonna freak out. And just a reminder to everybody, this is our first watch journey. Please, no spoilers.
It'll fucking ruin it.
It would ruin it, and you are permitted to laugh at us for our
that's
series.
Encouraged.
Yeah, of course it is. Absolutely. I've got my triple chocolate coffee with my brownie battered Dunkin' creamer inside.
I can't imagine anything tasting good out of that coffee mug.
It's a lion, okay? It's a lion.
No,
Be happy
not.
that it's a blue lion.
It's a large cat.
It's a Nittany lion.
It's a glorified house cat with a bad attitude.
What do you know? At least it's not an Ohio asshole. So
you know how you beat one of those Nittany lions?
How?
You just run over and over again. Come on. Tell me about this episode.
Anyway, okay. So we start off this episode, okay, with this lady doing dishes in Ruth, Nevada. Her house starts shaking, and the lights are like blah blah blah. There's
I thought you were gonna be like the walls start quaking.
The earth was shaking, my mind was aching. And
the bitch made bacon for you. Sorry.
It was just a military chopper in a backyard. Yeah.
No song.
It was a total military chopper in this chick's backyard. But you know who she's married to?
Pig fucker.
Dr. Paul Reiser.
Dr. Reiser.
Which I think I remember his name was Sam, but just so that you guys know, if you didn't watch season 1 through 3 yet of us, we call people whatever we feel like it. So he's Dr. Paul Reiser.
It'd be funny to think that somebody started this show about another show somewhere in the middle.
Yeah, right? Why would you do that?
I don't know.
Anyway, so the army guy who gets out is like that army chief guy. Forgive me.
I knew his name earlier and completely forgot.
I know.
General Dickhead.
General Dickhead, okay. And he starts talking to Dr. Paul. Everything can be, he shows Dr. Paul all the pictures, first of all, of the autopsy of Chrissy, and says everything can be traced back to Papa's little pet, 11. Elle was groomed to be a remote assassin. So that's how the military sees her. Dr. Paul is like, well, 11's dead, so, and the army guy's like, yeah, that's bullshit. And Dr. Paul is like, what do you think, I'm lying? And the army guy is like, yeah, so you can either help us or we'll give you something to cry about. The army starts searching his house, grabs a metal box, and leaves with the wife saying, no, those are Paul's blah, blah, blahs, but it's like, get out of the way, bitch. She has no clue. They get back to the chopper, and the guy's like, I want to know everyone he's talked to in the past year. And if we're lucky, it'll lead us right to the girl. And then the opening credits comes on.
60% of the time, it works 100% of the time.
Yeah. Except for the
Dr.
other
Dickhead.
40% of the time.
Right. Yeah.
Hmm.
I just can't with that mug.
Yeah.
Couldn't be any worse if it was New York Giants mug.
Ah! You're terrible. You're terrible with those like Michigan, what are they? Like Wolverines? Like,
Yeah.
yeah, whatever.
Sure.
Wolverines. It sounds like
What?
a made-up animal.
They're one of the most fierce animals on the planet. But sure, you're right.
Yeah, because they're little bitches. But
Little
anyway.
bitches.
They're bitches.
They're like a vicious raccoon. Actually, they're pretty, like, in comparison, I think they're about 3 times the size of they're like rodents of unusual size.
Like giant rats in a forest.
They're very mean. Anyway, carry on.
Alrighty. So now now that the credits come on and everything, we're at the skating rink. Okay. The paramedics are tending to Angela. There's a big crowd surrounding her. There's no music. Nobody's doing anything. They're just all around Angela and her stupid nose. And Jonathan Argyle are there watching it now, and Will and Mike are there watching it, and Elle is all by herself shaking in a booth. Okay. Argyle starts driving them home, and him and Jonathan are like stoned out of their gourds. Like their eyes are bloodshot red. They're trying to issue like words of wisdom to soothe Elle, and it's just not working because they start going down the rabbit hole. And if you know anyone who's ever smoked pot, you know. If you know, you know.
I myself have smoked pot. I'm well aware.
Absolutely.
Roads.
I don't know too many Gen Xers who have not smoked pot or do not still smoke pot. I mean, pot's legal in a lot of states now. So, like,
whatever. I heard Pennsylvania soon.
I hope Pennsylvania soon. It's legal for medical, and honestly, the governments have been clashing in the state capitol about like pot's really good. No, it's not. And you know, they're still fighting to this day. It's been years, but
do better, Pennsylvania.
Yeah. So everybody gets home, and who's cooking dinner but fucking Murray? Murray is wearing an apron. He is cooking his risotto. Everybody sits down to eat. Joyce and Murray are like making up shit why he's there and why Joyce all of a sudden has to go to Alaska. She's leaving Jonathan in charge, but Jonathan is super stoned right now. Jonathan Argyle, they're bringing up the attack at the rink, and she's gonna be fine though. Angela, she's gonna be fine. Mike is like, she didn't look fine. And that pisses off Elle, who leaves her dinner and stomps up to her room. Will rolls his eyes and sighs. Murray is like, is it the risotto?
It could be the risotto. Have you had risotto?
I've never had proper risotto, but I've made stuff that is probably considered risotto.
It's like if pasta was rice.
Yeah, if pasta was rice and creamy.
Yeah, I don't want that.
Well, I might want that if it tasted good, but it has the consistency of oatmeal, so So Elle, she's in bed, and she starts replaying all the scenes from the skating rink, and Papa, of course, she's got a flashback to that bitch. Then we flash over to more bat monsters flying around. I would call them just bats, but they have 2 tails, so they're bat monsters. Okay, and we're at the mansion of the Vecna. These snaky sludge entrails, remember they connect into him again, and he levitates. Okay, and now it's morning, so that's the end of that. We see Lucas waking up at the diner with the jocks who are getting ready to go on a manhunt, and they're like, one of us. And Lucas is like, fine, I'll help. Because he wants to be one of them. Then we go over to the boathouse where paranoid Eddie is walking around with his broken beer bottle and gets totally freaked out when Dustin and the gang return with like their Uber Eats of honeycomb cereal and Yoo-hoo.
We do not got Yoo-hoo here.
Oh my gosh, I saw those honeycombs in that 1980s honeycomb box and him just eating out of the box, and I want a honeycomb so bad.
Honey flavored fiberglass cereal.
Dude. It's so good. Honeycomb's got the big crunch. Anyway, Dustin has some bad news. He hacked into the police files. There is a search going on for Eddie as the suspect, which we kind of figured. The good news is it's not made public news just yet. So all we have to do is find Vecna, kill him, and prove your innocence. And Eddie's like, oh, is that all? It's going to be easy peasy lemon squeezy. This ain't the first monster that the gang has fought. And then we hear sirens. We think that the cops are going to go for them, but no, they go right past the boathouse, okay, because they are responding to Freddy Boy dead and mangled in the road, okay?
Freddy's that was like fucked up.
Super roadkill. I thought it was kind of cool. Like, I like to study it. Like, the legs going this way, but then, like, makes a Z formation, you know, like, you know. So I thought it was pretty cool. Anyway, the cops are there questioning Nancy, and she's like, I told Officer Daniels yesterday, did you even look into Victor Creel? And no, don't worry, honey. Victor is locked up safe and sound. The chief goes back to questioning her when she sees Steve, Dustin, Robin, and Max pulling up in Steve's car. And she's like giving a little high. And Nancy is struggle busing not to lose it at this point. So now we're back in Cali. They're skateboarding outside the buyer's residence. They're all eating breakfast. Will and Mike and an empty plate of Eggos are sitting at the table. Jonathan's like, hey, you guys want to go to the movies? And Will's like, I think it's a good day to stay home. Mike takes Elle upstairs, or takes her breakfast upstairs, rather. He's trying to talk to Elle. Elle's ignoring him. She's reconstructing her diorama that, you know, bitch ass smashed. He's still trying to talk to her. He knows what it's like to be bullied. And Ella's like, it's different. She doesn't belong anywhere. She's a monster. And Mike, the typical man, he's like, but I care for you. And you know what happens when you say that to a girl? She's like, don't you even love me?
Right.
You don't love me. You care for me. Like, I honestly have to say, I would have done the same thing, Elle. I would have done the same thing. Mike is like, no, I love you. You're a superhero. And she's like, not no more. She starts pulling out all these letters where it said, your friend Mike, your friend Mike, your friend Mike. And it's like, oh, Mike, you fucking dumb.
Yeah, you had one job.
You had one job. If hopefully someday he learns, okay? Or else he's going to end up like a stupid ass dad.
He won't learn.
Probably not.
It's not a thing we do.
He's going to be like Ted Jr. in the fucking Lazy Boy.
Fucking Ted.
Fucking Ted.
So
back downstairs, Will and Jonathan are watching Ewoks. Do you remember that
Ewoks.
cartoon?
Yes, I hated it.
You hated the cartoon?
I don't like Ewoks. I think that they took a perfectly good concept of little fucking murder bears and fucking turned it into a squishy little girl's toy.
Well, considering that this is 1986, and in 1986 I was 9 years old, I liked Ewoks because I didn't think that they were murder bears yet.
Because you're a girl.
Well, I didn't think that they were murderous bears yet.
They fucking, like, where'd they get the dress, Kelly?
I was 9. I didn't care where they got the dress.
They literally were gonna barbecue them.
I was 9. I didn't care about that stuff.
You were
yet.
older than me, and I knew that they were murder bears. You're just a fucking girl.
Just a fucking girl.
Such a girl.
I am a girl.
All right, carry on.
So the cops show up outside and they arrest Elle. But don't worry, Mike's gonna fix it all. Everything's gonna be fine. And this is like the second time we heard that already in this episode. Everything's gonna be fine. It's fine. It's fine.
It's fine.
It's fine. Everything's fine.
It's fine.
So now we're on the plane with Joyce and Murray. Joyce is having second thoughts about leaving her little chickadees and lying to them. Murray's like, you did the right thing. You know, kids are going to be kids. They're going to eat, play Nintendo, smoke some ganja, experiment sexually. It's fine. And again, it's fine. Okay. But yeah, that's not going to calm a mom down because Murray, that's the stupidest thing you could ever say to a woman. But Murray doesn't have a woman. So what does he know anyway? So figures. It
Fucking
sounds
Murray.
like something Murray would say.
He drinks straight vodka.
Yeah,
You can't trust him.
You can't trust him. Then again, I don't drink often, but when I do drink, I like vodka.
Yeah, but you don't just drink vodka.
Well, I drink it
You-
on the rocks, or
Do you?
sometimes I mix it with cranberry juice.
Oh, you're
Yeah.
not supposed to do that. It's just like drinking paint thinner.
I drank too much whiskey in my 20s, so now I can't drink whiskey anymore.
Not
That's
a good
true.
answer.
Well, when you throw
Then
up
you drink
so many
tequila.
times, I can't drink tequila because tequila makes you pregnant.
Fuck.
You know this. I told you this. Tequila
I've
makes
never
you pregnant.
gotten pregnant off drinking tequila.
I got pregnant twice on tequila. I won't do it anymore. I don't need no babies at 47 years old. So yeah, I don't drink tequila. Yeah, tequila's bad.
Can
It's
be.
bad. Anyway, we're at the Russian camp now, okay? And it's snowy. And they're building train tracks. The Russian finds Hopper taking a break. And like Hopper calls him a pig and an asshole in Russian. And the guard pretends that he's yanking him behind the building so that he could give him a beat down. But he's actually Enzo. Okay, he's not going to beat him. He's just going to pretend to beat him.
Yeah.
He gives him the message from Joyce. Hopper's like, it sounds too good to be true. And so it's like, well, the plane comes tomorrow, so you better be on it. We're done playing. The guy walks around the corner, another guy, are you done playing with your little American toy yet? And he's like, I had to teach him a lesson. And then he whispers to Hopper, like, where do you want me to
your
hit
mouth.
you? No, that's not what he said. That was Brady, not the guard.
Sorry. I couldn't resist. I knew what you were going to say. I just like dubbed over you.
No, it's totally something Brady would say.
It's something Brady would say. Hey,
But Brady
fuck
doesn't
his
watch
mouth.
this show, so what does he know?
Yeah, fuck him.
Brady, I'm not going to say fuck you because I love you in case you ever watch this someday.
No, he's an asshole. Leave him be.
Brady's not an asshole. He's a big, giant, lovable giant.
Yes, I love him, but he's an asshole. He doesn't watch this show.
He doesn't watch this show. That makes him an asshole.
Yeah, that's the only reason.
Yeah, he's probably playing video games right now.
Mhm.
As this is
Enjoying
going live on
himself. What a piece of
Saturday.
shit.
Yeah. Whatever.
Can't trust him. He's the one that did this to my arm.
Did he really?
Yeah.
That's a tattoo.
It was
Damn
worth
it,
every
guy.
second. It was worth every second of you wondering.
Like, what did he do? Oh, never mind.
If I had $1 for everybody that double looks at me as they pass me in traffic because they think I've got road rash on my arm,
Well, yeah, or some freaky ass birthmark.
Yeah, that'd be a nasty birthmark.
Yeah. So Enzo whispers like, "Where do you want me to hate you?" And Hopper's like, "Right here." So and that's the end of that. We're back to Nancy. We're in the trailer park. She is catching everybody up. When I say everybody, I mean Steve, Robin, Dustin, and Max on what's going on, and they're all sharing their stories as they do. Um they're talking about like stalkers. Stalkers usually stalk their prey before killing. And did Chrissy and Fred talk to anybody about that? Maybe they were being stalked first. Max says Chrissy was at the guidance counselor and Nancy wants to check something out. So we're going to split up now. And Steve immediately says, Nancy, you're not going by yourself. I'm going with you. And Robin's like, I can't drive. And Max is like, I'll drive. And Steve's like, no, you're not driving. And, nobody's even asking Dustin. So Robin's like, okay, us girls are going to stick together and you three go check out with the guidance counselor. Max goes with Dustin and Steve, and then we see a large crack open up on the ceiling of Eddie's taped off house, taped off trailer. And it looked like the crack that went to the upside down, but I'm not really sure why it's in the trailer unless that crack is opening because that's where Chrissy died, up on the ceiling. I don't know. So interesting. But just like that, we're back at Vecna's mansion. We see the Vecna and we see
Spider.
Dude, if he really is a spider, I'm so gonna lose my shit.
It's getting easier and easier to push you off your game.
I know. I think we're halfway through the episode. Are we halfway through the episode?
I think
almost
we're
halfway
close.
through the episode. All right. We see red clouds and lightning, and we're surfing through all these like people who have like these nightmarish problems. And then we go into the head of Patrick the jock, and his nose starts to bleed. We are now in the car of the jocks that are going on the manhunt for Eddie.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
How does do we not know how these possessions move around?
We do not.
Okay, so we just don't understand that yet. Because it's clearly not by like touch or transmission or whatever. It's just
right. Like somehow Vecna is getting into all of the really into the people who had really traumatic things happen to them. Like if something really traumatic happens to them, they're like prime meat to him.
So he's essentially Freddy Krueger Spider.
Yeah, right? Yeah. Oh, God, I hope he's not a spider.
I
hope he's not a spider, John. He can't do spiders. So the jocks are going to question Eddie's friends. And they just happen to be Lucas's friends, too. And, they're looking at Lucas and they're like, the jocks are like, Lucas, how do they know you? And he's like, oh, my sister. And they were trying to recruit me into their cult. And his friends are like, what? Like, fuck you, Lucas. And the jocks start beating them for info on Eddie. They release the name of Dustin. And Lucas just stands there and watches. Like, Lucas, really? Is popularity worth that much that now you're just going with them with everything?
Yeah, I was really confused about that. Like it seemed like he was trying to warn Dustin, and then immediately he was like, I know where the guy's at.
Yeah. I mean, I'm glad he kind of helped in the end, but we'll get there. We'll get there.
Now Dustin needs a fucking redemption story.
Yeah, right?
Fuck.
Yeah.
Or not Dustin, but Lucas needs a fucking redemption story.
Oh, yeah. Yeah. So we zoom
What is
over
this,
to the
Star Wars?
cops. Star Wars.
Yeah.
Is it
Star Wars is always about a redemption story.
Yeah, I guess so. No.
When isn't it?
Anakin wasn't redeemed.
Sure he was.
Well,
He
he
saves
was.
Luke, and then Luke forgives him.
Well, it took
And he
him 6 movies.
Yeah, but then he rejoins the light side of the Force as a ghost.
That's true.
He's redeemed.
You're right. He is redeemed.
Then Kylo Ren does the same thing.
But the Emperor was never redeemed.
No, because he was a monster.
Yeah, he was a monster.
You want the Vecna to get a fucking gold star at the end of this ride? He's a spider.
No. Anyway, the cops are questioning Elle. We're not going to talk about spiders. She's having flashbacks, like they're like, "Did you kill her?" No. They're like, "Did you want to kill her?" And Elle's like, "I don't know." And they're like, "Oh, she's not even reacting to this. Maybe she did want to kill her." And Elle's like, "I don't know."
It was a very weird line of questioning to the point where like it would be completely inadmissible in a court of law because it would be leading an interrogation. Like there's a lot of shit that they do on TV that they can't do in real life.
Well, we all know how California, not all California cops in the 80s, but they kind of had a reputation. So
this is true.
Fell right into it. And then they start taking mug shots of Elle and they throw her in the back of a van to take her to juvie. But Mike and Will and Jonathan show up and, but Elle's in the van now and, they see the van pulling away and Mike's running and he's like, "Elle," in the middle of the road, and Elle sees him in the middle of the road and it's like, okay, that was kind of like cheeseball-y, but okay. We're back on the plane. Murray is snuggling onto Joyce and the, what do you call them? Air flight attendants.
At that time, it would have been a stewardess.
A stewardess, yes. The stewardess, like, "Oh, is this your husband?"
It wasn't until like the 2000s or whatever where it was like, no, it's a flight attendant.
Yeah.
Because they were like, dudes can do this too.
Yeah, because we fought so hard for equality.
We fought so hard for equality. Dudes can also be stewardai.
Yeah.
Stewardai.
We fought for equality and erasing labels. And where are we in 2024?
Wishing we had some labels most of the time. I don't know what to call this. What are we doing? It's a spectrum.
Smile and nod. Fine. Smile and nod.
Life's on the spectrum.
Yes. So after their brief chat, she gives Joyce her, in-flight dinner, which is basically a box of slop. Mashed potatoes, icky, plain, unseasoned chicken, and lots of gravy covering everything. And peas. Ugh. Bleh.
Unseasoned chicken. You got me at unseasoned chicken. I'm so mad.
Did you see it? It was like just like a white piece of chicken. Like, did you boil that thing? Like,
for boiled chicken. Get the fuck out of town with that. I remember that being a thing though, because there was a school of thought that thought boiling chicken made it so you got all the protein without the calories. There was a time, they would like nutritionists were telling you to eat fucking brown rice and boiled chicken.
Boiled chicken.
Fuck you, dude. Mm-hmm. At least boil it in some fucking chicken broth. It's still not going to be good, but damn it.
If you boil it in chicken broth, you're making soup.
Basically. But
if you boil it in water, you're making soup.
Yeah, but you're taking all the good shit out of the chicken and putting it into the water.
Even when I eat boiled chicken, as in chicken soup, I season my fucking chicken.
Facts.
whatever. That's infuriating. You're absolutely right.
I'm upset.
And we zoom in on her slop, and then we zoom out and we're in Hopper's slop for dinner. Okay, he gets slop and a moldy hunk of bread.
Mhm.
They're all done working. He asks the guy that he's eating next to, is trying to convey it in Russian, but he's still choppy with Russian, that he will give him his hunk of moldy bread if this guy smacks him in the ankles when they're working.
Mhm.
And the guy's like, it'll hurt, and Hopper's like, I don't give a shit. And that guy's like, yeah, crazy Americans. So they go back to work, and then he like tap, 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 like, hey, I gave you my bread, hit me. And the guy smacks him in the ankle with a sledgehammer. And Hopper's like biting down on his coat.
Mhm.
And Hopper's like, again. And he smacks him again. And he smacks him 3 more times. And you could tell his ankle is freaking broken.
Mhm.
But we're not going to look at it yet. Because we're going to look at Robin, okay? Robin and Nancy. They are in the library. They're looking up Victor Creel murders, which predates Elle, by the way, for 30 years. And they mentioned it twice in this episode, so I think it has
Mhm.
something to do with everything. So I wrote that down. Makes Victor about a 70-year-old grandpa murderer. He's a
Mhm.
grandpa. They everything that they need is kept in the basement archive. So they go downstairs. Robin, she's being blunt, and it's like awkward because Nancy's like too cool for Robin, I mean, like, think about it. You had the band geek, the junior year band geek, talking to the postgraduate high school cheerleader. So yeah, that's how that went. Typical clickiness. Nancy didn't want anything to do with her. We're back at Max, who went to her counselor's house, because remember, we are on spring break. And Max is like, can we talk? And the counselor's like, of course, come on in. But we're not going to see them just yet because we're looking at Steve and Dustin in the car. And Dustin's like, what the hell was that? You throwing yourself at Nance? And Steve's like, what are you implying? And Dustin's like, I'm not implying it. I'm stating it. Plus your steadfast refusal not to date Robin, which, okay, it's still a secret between Robin and Steve. Like, nobody else knows that Robin's a lesbian yet. So, I'm glad they did that whole skit because it made more sense. Steve is like, not the only explanation, but he's trying to protect Nancy as a friend. Dustin's like, you are bright red. And Steve's like, I'm going to punch your teeth out. And Dustin's like, bro, you went too far. And they stop fighting and they do the little fist bump. So they're all good.
That's
now
what
we're
I'm
back
about.
to Max.
I'm just looking for a good fist bump now and again. You know what I mean?
I know what you mean. I know what you mean.
I love you. I love you too.
No, you mean. Max is talking about her trauma, and the counselor wants to know if she wants to talk about the night Billy was murdered yet. Max is getting all these flashes in her head and instead turns it to the reason why she is there in the first place, redirects it to Chrissy being murdered in the trailer right next to her house. She pretends to be afraid of a serial killer. Did Chrissy ever tell you anything? And the teacher's like, I can't talk about that. But what if there's a killer on the loose and he gets me? And she's like, do you want me to talk about your stuff to all the kids at school? No, Max, I can't tell you about Chrissy's either. She's like, can I go to the bathroom? And she's like, of course you can go to the bathroom. And instead of going to the bathroom, she goes and steals her office keys that are in the kitchen. And she runs out and says, drive, Steve, drive. So that's the end of that. I'm taking a sip of my coffee now.
No, don't. Fucking shitney lions.
Oh, it tastes so good.
I bet it
tastes so
doesn't.
good. It really does.
At best, it probably tastes mediocre.
No. Triple chocolate coffee with
Mhm.
Dunkin' Donuts brownie batter.
I'd like to say that I'm offended, but there's probably no offense coming out of that cup.
Ugh, that was bad. That was terrible, Don. Anyway. I'm so happy you find yourself amusing.
Dad football jokes. Now we're really doing something. There's got to be a market for that somewhere.
We really got to do Booth in the Back next year.
We'll see. We'll see.
So we're back at the Jocks, okay? And the Jocks are pulling up to Dustin's house, and nobody's home. They're banging on the door, but nobody's home. And they turn around, and Lucas isn't in the car. Where did Lucas go? He snuck into Dusty's room, grabbed the radio to warn him. And of course, everybody's like, where the fuck have you been? You need to meet us at the school. And he's like, I can't. And then the Jocks find him in Dustin's room, and the radio goes silent. The Jocks are questioning Lucas, like, what the hell are you doing in here? And Lucas, to get them off his case, says, I know where Eddie's hiding. So it's like, oh, do you? Like, I was really mad at Lucas for a second.
Mm-hmm.
But we'll get there. We'll get there. We are now with Elle. Elle replays her memories over and over and over in her head as we're driving. And behind the little police van, you see like 3, I'm really bad at cars, the Cadillacs.
Oh, I don't know. I didn't pay any attention to what kind of cars they were.
3 fancy, shiny cars come out of nowhere in the middle of the desert and surround the police van, one blocking it off, one on the side and one behind.
Mm-hmm.
This lady with ripped pantyhose and a pantsuit comes out, and I'll take her off your hands. And she flashes a badge. She's the feds. They're the feds. They open up the back of the paddy wagon, and Elle tries to bolt, but immediately gets tackled by these big ass men. And then a man gets out of the car in the back, and who the fuck is it? It's Dr. Paul Reiser. Dr. Paul's like, hey, kiddo.
I'm mad about you.
Mad about you, baby. I swear I love that show.
Yeah, we watched it religiously.
I loved it. And we're not going to know anything else just yet because the plane is landing. It's nighttime. Joyce wakes up Murray and they deboard. It's blizzard outside. And immediately we're at Hopper's now in the Russian camp, and it's also a blizzard outside. The chain gang's going back to the cells, and once we get Hopper inside his cell, this is the gory part. He takes off his sock and his shoe where he got hit with the sledgehammer.
It was gross.
That was so terrible. It was so terrible. And it's definitely broken, and there's a big ass gash in it.
I sprained my ankle once, to the point it swelled up about like a knee.
Yeah.
And so in this moment, like I'm sitting there thinking about how bad that hurt, and he was walking on it. And
all day long.
Stood there while that guy yanked the chain against it and didn't fucking scream. Hopper's a bad motherfucker.
And it's got to be like sub-zero temperatures there in Kamchatka. So you know how bad that must be throbbing?
Kamchatka sounds like whatever would taste out of that coffee mug you're drinking out of.
Shut up. It's good. It's yummy.
What's that taste like? Kamchatka? Gross.
You're an asshole.
We just drinking.
It's definitely good. It's so good.
Yeah, if you're
I
into
hope all of
Kamchatka,
you are enjoying a nice cup of coffee tonight. Or what are you drinking, Don? Water?
no, it's fucking Apple
Gatorade?
Burst Gatorade.
Apple Gatorade.
Yeah,
They make apple Gatorade now?
they do now.
I don't
It's,
know how I'd like that.
it's pretty good.
I won't trash anything before I taste it the first time. I will try anything once.
I mean, I don't know how to explain it. It tastes like green apples.
I like green apples. Like green Jolly Ranchers?
Yes, exactly like.
Oh, okay. I would probably like it then.
Yep, if a green Jolly Rancher was a drink.
There is a shot called a green Jolly Rancher.
Uh-huh.
And damn, those are good, but they give you like the worst hangovers the next day. Anything with sugar.
Yeah, it's all high sugar, all them
Yeah.
high sugar fruity drinks. I made the mistake of drinking one of those giant whale bones full of fucking like slushy garbage in Las Vegas one time.
Oh no.
The next day I wanted to hit myself in the head with a sledgehammer.
Oh no. Blech.
My glucose, it was like
Ew.
it took me a day and a half to recuperate from that drink.
Oh, I can only imagine. I can only imagine.
It wasn't worth the trouble.
Oh, yeah, we're talking about Hopper and his broken ankle. And guess what, though? His ankle's so broken, he could slip the chain off. Yay.
Right?
And they show him doing it, too, guys.
It's gross.
It's pretty gross. It's pretty gross. So, for a palate cleanser, we go back over to Nancy and Robin, who are looking at microfiche. Robin's asking way too many questions, and Nancy's quite annoyed. She's like, why don't you just call Steve? And she storms downstairs, like in a different part for the card catalog, which both of those things, microfiche and card catalogs, sorry, no kids today are going to understand what they were.
Right.
Yeah. They might be saying, I know what that is. I saw that in Stranger Things.
Right. A show from back in the day that is about a show that was further back in the like.
Yep.
That's some weird Inception shit.
Right.
I never really thought about that as a concept. Like if you look at like the Goldbergs or this, there's going to be a time 15, 20 years later, you know, what was it, 2040-ish? Somebody's going to go back and watch this and be like, this is a show from a time that references a completely different time. And I don't know what fucking time it is.
Absolutely. Or, of course that happened. I saw it on the Goldbergs.
Yeah. It was clearly real. Remember, like it's a historical document, the Goldbergs.
That is a good show, though. I kind of like that show.
It's good. Smoothie.
I missed the last season of it, so.
I stopped watching it after everybody went to college.
Yeah, and the only one home was the youngest.
At some point, he even goes.
I did not make it that far.
You don't need to.
Okay.
It's not that it's not entertaining.
I watched the episodes that mattered.
Yeah, it's when they're all at home. That's still the good shit.
I think it was this season that the grandfather died. Like in real life. I can't remember his name, but you know, anybody who knows me knows that I don't know actors, but you know who I'm talking about, right? Yeah.
I don't remember the guy's name either.
Yeah. So Nancy pops. Yeah. So Nancy storms off to the card catalog and Robin chases her down and says, Nancy, just so that you know, Steve and I are just platonic friends. And Nancy's like, yeah. Nancy's trying to find books in the card catalog, and Robin's like, you're not going to find anything there. If you want to find anything, you go to the tabloids. So Nancy's like, you know, I'm smarter than you, and Robin's just dumb, and, you know, she must be a slut for hanging out with Steve. And Robin finds exactly what she's looking for in the tabloids. Victor Krill's house. There's a nice picture of Victor Krill's mansion. Okay. It's haunted by a demon, and that is the same mansion that the Vecna's in today.
You don't say.
Yeah.
He's a spider.
I never saw that coming. Oh God, I hope he's not a spider. I won't be able to deal with it, Don. I won't be able to deal with it. You might have to take the notes, and because I will be in shock that episode of Stranger Things has happened. Anyway. So now they're leaving the library because they found out everything they need to know. Of course, they're going to go investigate the mansion. And Robin radios to Dustin all the information that they just found out. And Dustin's currently breaking into the school with Steve and Max and says, "Get over here, Stat." Okay, but, they're not there just yet. We're in the office, and Max is looking through the files of Chrissy and also finds out that Fred talked to the guidance counselor too, so they take his file. We flash over to the jocks. Okay, they've got the shovels that they took out of the trunk. It's nighttime. They're on a back road, and they're coming up with a plan. Okay, this is how they're going to do it. And Lucas is leading them with flashlights through the forest. Not to Eddie's house, but to Hopper's old house, the cabin in the middle of the woods. So at least Lucas is trying to throw them off the trail, but it's still too little for me. Lucas is still being a douche.
Yeah.
So he needs to stop doing that.
I would have preferred if he just turned on the guys altogether and was like, "I gotta go. Fuck off."
Yeah, right? Yeah. So now we're in a diner in the middle of nowhere with Dr. Paul Reiser, who's apologizing for the theatrics to Elle. He says, he tells Elle that he relocated her to the town to get away from all the trouble. He's going to make that roller skating thing go away. Don't worry. But that's not why he's here. Okay. He tells Elle that Hawkins is in danger. And while he's saying this, we're flashing everywhere again because we like to flash now at the end of episodes. Like so this. Yeah.
No, I pulled my shirt. I was going to get my titties out.
Yeah. Brady did that on Monday.
On the show? He got his titties out on the show. On the internet.
TikTok about it. No, YouTube. I didn't make a TikTok about it. The Barbies made a TikTok about it, okay?
Oh, I'm not into this whole Barbie business.
Well, they're Barbies for Hennifer, so.
Barbie no. Hashtag Barbie no.
If you want to know what I'm talking about, go to the Sidebar Cantina on TikTok or on Instagram, and you'll see exactly what I'm talking about.
Yeah, or don't.
Or don't. I don't give a shit. I don't give a shit.
The Barbies do, though.
It, not me. So anyway, we flash over to the Vecna's house, and Dr. Paul Reiser, he's still talking. He's talking this whole time. We fought this before and won. And we had a flashback to Elle closing the gate with the Demodogs in season 2. Okay. And it's like a virus, and it keeps coming back stronger, smarter, and deadlier. And we see the Vecna's face again. And then he's like, "War is coming to Hawkins." And we see the jocks burst into Hopper's cabin. They're searching for Eddie. Lucas bails. Okay, so I don't know what that's about, but Lucas does bail. Just as Dr. Paul is telling Elle about the good people that have helped her in the past, but they alone can't win this war. We need you, Elle. We see Hopper doing push-ups, and I'm like, oh, Hopper, baby. He's got that broken ass foot. He's doing push-ups, man. He's just like pumping those push-ups. So
Look at you getting all warm in the fucking.
Whoa, it's hot in here.
Take a drink of that nasty shit you got in that cup.
Mm.
What was it? Cameladas?
Triple chocolate coffee.
Kamchaka.
No. Yogurt.
Yeah. Yogurt. I hate yogurt.
and so, oh yeah, we saw Hopper doing push-ups, yeah. And Dr. Paul's like, whew. Dr. Paul's like, we cannot win this war without you, Elle. And Elle's like, yeah, well, guess what? I ain't got no powers. And but Dr. Paul, he can restore them and make her stronger than ever. Not what did I say? Not the cause, but the cure. Oh, Elle is not the cause of these supernatural things. She's the cure.
Ooh.
Elle is the cure. Okay. And then we see like Jonathan on the phone trying to get a hold of, the flight company. And then he's like, Elle, you can leave with me now, but there is a possibility that if it fails, you will never see your friends again. Elle's like, are my friends in danger? Her friends back in Hawkins. And we see Max with the files. Dr. Paul's like, oh yeah, they're kind of in danger. If you go to them, you risk everything. Max reads the files. She starts reading her own files, and she has flashbacks. She hears the Vecna, okay? She actually hears the Vecna. The Vecna is targeting Max. Dr. Paul is saying, you are our best hope. And Elle's like, what if I'm the monster? Dr. Paul's like, nope, you're a good one. Elle's a good egg. She's a good egg.
What do you think the odds are we lose Max at the end of this season?
I'm scared.
I don't mind at all that what's
Lucas?
his face is going or gone.
Lucas?
No, Max's brother. What was his name?
Oh, Billy. Billy was a fucktard.
Billy.
I don't want to lose Max. But I'm scared.
I'm sure Lucas doesn't either.
Lucas is being an asshole.
Yeah, but what fucking kid his age wasn't?
Yeah, it's true. That's true. Well, Dustin's not. Dustin's his age.
There's a lot of nerdy kids that abandon being nerdy to be sports kids.
Yeah.
It's a trope. So,
Dr. Paul Reiser wants to know if you're going to go home or are you going to come with me? And then we pan out to the waitress. She looks like she's working in Mel's Diner with the get up and the hair and everything like that. She comes back with the food and they're gone. And then all of a sudden we see Mike, Will, and Jonathan, and they see a flash outside of like bright lights, and it's the feds without Dr. Paul Reiser though.
Right.
But we do see Dr. Paul Reiser and Elle driving down the desert highway, going off into the stars. And then the screen goes black. And I thought that was the end, but it's not.
Right.
Because we're back at the school.
And there's a spider.
No, there's not a spider. Max hears a clock ticking. Okay. She's investigating and she's going down the hallway. And we hear more ticking and we hear more ticking. And that fucking creepy ass grandfather clock is embedded into the wall, like kind of like topsy-turvy into the wall with like these like black upside down goo strands coming out of it. And black shit. And then we hear Max. And then we see a Vecna eye. And then it's done. Now it's over. And we're only 55 minutes into this episode.
I want to know what the clock's for.
I don't know, but everybody seems to be everybody seems to be hearing that clock right before they die.
Or right
So-
before they get whatever however
Right
they're
before they
getting.
get vecnid.
Yeah,
Yeah.
the cup's vecnid.
Uh-uh. Nuh-uh.
I'll send you a Michigan one.
No, I don't want your Michigan one. I'm almost done with my coffee. I don't want your creepy ass Michigan cup with your glorified raccoon.
Well, let's send you a
Bark
Lions
rats.
one then.
I don't want your Michigan Lions crap. I think I still have your Michigan Lions ping pong balls somewhere.
Yeah, well,
Yeah.
that's good. At least Dragon Buddy didn't shove them in his whatever,
Wow, I almost lost that all over my laptop. That would have been a sticky mess.
That's what she said.
Anyway, just wanted to thank everybody for joining us today.
Yeah, this was
I
a
am
fun
live in the
episode.
chat. We're live premiering this, but the chat is live, and that is actually me in the chat. So thank you for joining me tonight.
Yep. If I'm not busy doing something else, I'll be in the chat too.
You usually stop in and say hi.
Yeah, but for Saturdays are super busy for me.
Saturdays are super hard.
So-
Especially like when a person like you who works 7 days a week.
Right.
You don't have too much free time.
Mm-mm. And then
I have
that's
free
usually
time.
my play day, Saturday.
Yeah, you go play.
So,
You go have fun and play.
but if I'm at home, I'll be.
I'm a Capricorn. I'm an introvert. I don't like leaving the house to go out to play.
I'm a peppercorn. I make it spicy.
You're a Scorpio.
No, I'm a Libra.
No, you're not. You're
No.
October 24th. You're a Scorp.
22nd. I'm on the line.
Oh, you're a cusp baby.
Yeah. I'm the scary ones.
So you're part Libra and Scorpio.
Mhm.
Oh, that explains so much. I
Mhm.
totally get it now.
Yep.
I
These
totally
are
get it.
scary times. We're living in the crazy times, Brady said.
Sometime I'll do like your rising sign and your moon sign. So
Yeah, sure.
Yeah.
Okay.
I'm the lunar girl. I know how to do that shit.
Oh, I know. Fucking raspberry Gatorade and a retro.
Yeah,
Mm.
everybody. Mercury is in retrograde right now, so be very careful what you say. And wear glasses on Monday, damn it. Don't burn retinas.
I'm not doing it.
You'll go blind. Don't
I'll be
do it.
in work. I won't even know it happened.
Well, I'll be I got my glasses.
What time's this supposed to happen?
It's supposed to start around 2. It's supposed to be done like around 4:30.
Yeah, I work.
Totality is probably gonna like be between 3 and 3:30.
I work. I work until 3:30. So maybe I'll walk outside and be dark as fuck.
It will
Wait
be
a
dark
minute.
as fuck.
3:30 in Pennsylvania.
It'll be the same thing in Michigan.
You think so?
Yeah.
All right.
You might be a hair darker than me because you're a little bit closer to the eclipse line than I am.
Yeah, because it kind of cuts across northern Ohio.
Yeah, but it's still going to be dark as fuck. Like when I say like it's not going to be totality, it's going to be like a smidgen.
Honestly, if I was going to look at it, I'd look at it through my phone because I'm not a fucking moron. But there's a lot of folks out there. You can
there's
literally,
a lot of folks out there.
you can literally take your phone and hold it right in front of your face.
You know how like the sun is out and you take a magnifying glass and you burn the ants or you create a fire?
Well, that's what bad kids did. Tell us more about yourself. Oh shit, we got to go.
We gotta go. Okay, bye, friends.
Okay, bye.